guys hear that?
Bro, there's a human skull.
No!
Exploring the unknown can quickly turn an ordinary adventure into an absolute nightmare. Whether it's stumbling across human remains in the deep woods or hearing an unidentified chilling howl in the dark, what would be your next move? On October 31st, 2025, YouTuber Paul Sohard shared a deeply unsettling video to the platform. Paul is a dirt bike rider who enjoys traveling far into the woods for intense off-road rides. In this footage, he is out with a friend for a Halloween special, and ironically, the outing turns into something that feels straight out of a horror film.
Please don't roost me. I think we're almost to the track. No rear brake, this sucks, popping the clutch over stuff. Like normally I use the rear brake just to like tap it and give me confidence I can bring the front end down, but nope, absolutely not out here. I think if we stop here, check the maps, change the battery, we'll be dialed. I think all we gotta do is cross these tracks and we'll be good. Up on the seas! You really need dirt tires out here. Yeah, you're good! This could be entertaining. He fell into the vine. A little more gas goes a long way. I think if we slide down that way, we'll be right where we want to be. Hopefully no trains are coming. Sorry, bikey. You just go, Calabunga! Oh, no fart, no rear brake is scary. Oh my god, that's all the brake we have. Good thing she was in gear. Bro, there's a human skull.
No!
No, bro, come down here. This is not what I wanted to find.
Bro, that's how fast I came.
Bro, look at that. Is that not a human skull?
On edge?
Bro, that's human.
Oh, that is.
Did we call the cops?
I don't know about that one.
Holy crap, that is actually a human head. That is a skull.
I don't think I've ever seen one before.
Bro, that's teeth and everything, like.
That's the murder weapon.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, that's super scary. Should we take a photo at least?
Yeah.
At first, they are joking and enjoying themselves, riding so far into the wilderness that they come across old, abandoned train tracks. It seems like just another adventure. But after leaving the tracks and heading back into the trees, Paul notices something to his left, a skull. At first, it is difficult to understand what they are seeing. As he moves closer, it becomes clear that it is human. The laughter disappears. They contact the police, and the situation becomes even more serious.
We're gonna call 911.
Oh, we're calling them.
Yeah, that's what my friend said to do.
How are they gonna get out here?
Are we going to put the cops on the back of our thing?
Police, fire, EMS, or mental health services.
We're off in the woods. We're riding dirt bikes, and we just found a human skull.
Okay. Do you know where exactly you are?
No idea, really. We were just kind of riding in some creek bed, ended up here. I can get a pin and like have some place for the officers to meet us.
And you're fairly positive that it's real without by looking at it, or you're.
Yeah, it's got like fillings in the teeth and stuff. I'm no doctor, but it definitely looks like a skull.
I got you.
Like some teeth are missing, some have fillings, some don't.
Okay. What is your name?
I'm Paul.
And is it intact?
Yes.
I'll tell them to go to the end of Nixon. All right.
All right. We do everything, bro. We from catching crackheads stealing stuff to finding human skulls.
Recovering Kias?
Recovering Kias. Thank God it's like a skull and not just like a... Somebody threw it off the train tracks. Like low key.
The whole body maybe it's in the trees like they tried to jump off the train.
I feel like somebody killed somebody and they're like a train conductor and they've like dismembered the body and been throwing parts off.
I would think it's probably a better case scenario that's a homeless person on homeless person crime.
After placing the call, they ride back toward the main road to meet officers and guide them in. Before additional authorities arrive, they discover more remains hidden in a nearby bush. The scene quickly becomes real.
I do.
Where?
Something right through there. That's got
Oh.
a piece of bone.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's the rest of his backbone right there.
Yeah.
It must have washed out.
My guess was
All the way up. See right there to your left, and then right there behind that.
Oh, there's another one, yeah.
There's a bunch in there. Holy cow.
There's another one there. There's one over there. Now we got sent up to go get some more cops. So this is really getting crazy. I guess more units. Homicide is coming. Like, this ain't no joke out here. Holy crap. How you doing? Good. I was told to come up here to bring y'all back to the...
Yeah, there's another one coming. I guess the waypoint.
Alright. It's crazy. Now we have 2 cops. This is getting hectic, guys. Bringing all units. Oh shoot, now there's another cop car and another one. They are deep out here.
For you though, bud, I don't know where back here in this green belt they'd be shooting.
Y'all find anything else?
We really haven't been stepping around it, just keeping it as clean as possible.
I'm scared there's bones in that shoe.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it till y'all said something.
That's where they tried to make it up on the dirt bikes.
How often do y'all get calls for this type of stuff, or?
This is my first in 7 years
No way.
for remains like this. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Blue and white. Yeah. My best guess is he probably fell, cracked, died, and then the floods came through and washed. Gotcha. Because it's been picked clean.
point it was.
Killing fields when we used to drop deer off in our ranch. 3 days they pick them clean.
Wow.
So I would not be surprised about that.
Wow. Y'all have a good evening.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for your service.
More officers show up. The area is secured. Paul and his friend are asked to step away while investigators take control. Later, Paul learns that the remains belong to an elderly man with dementia who had gone missing and sadly passed away in that exact spot. Sometimes an ordinary trip can uncover something no one expects. Do you think they handled the situation the right way? On September 30th, 2012, a disturbing video spread quickly across YouTube. In the footage, a man known as Mr. Jenny was hunting in a forest in Wyoming when he came face to face with something he would never forget.
Camera. Got it. Get back. Get back. Yeah. You tell him I'm coming. The hell's coming with me? I see you, buddy. I see you. Boy, he's pretty. Oh, there you go. They're curious fuckers, boy. Fucking fire off two of them. No. If need be. Soon to be around how they usually like to stand up. He's a little feller.
He sure is pretty.
He's pretty though. It's a beautiful hide. You see him, honey? Yeah, there he goes. It's about 400. I guess him at. Yeah.
They make a hair more now.
Yeah. Pretty hairy.
Within seconds, a huge grizzly bear rushes straight at him. Instead of fleeing, Jenny holds his position with his pistol raised, locking eyes with one of North America's most dangerous predators. Then, just as fast as it began, the bear stops. The grizzly slows, turns away, and vanishes back into the trees. This situation could have easily turned tragic, because when a grizzly decides to charge, there is rarely time to recover. Do you think he was lucky, or was it something else? On December 8, 2025, along Interstate 95 in Florida, United States, an ordinary drive suddenly becomes a moment of real terror. On the highway, everything seems completely normal. Then, without any warning, a dark object falls from the sky.
Like, bro, I have chops, I swear. Oh my goodness.
Shouting and panic can be heard in the recording. The people inside cannot process what they are witnessing. Within seconds, a plane slams onto the roadway and lands directly on top of a car. Metal collides with metal. The impact is loud and abrupt. The driver moves closer, hands trembling. Fear spreads across the highway, and traffic seems frozen, as if time itself has paused. No one wants to move. No one wants to look too closely.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. A plane just crashed onto a car on a highway.
We're gonna pull off and we're
Holy wow.
They look like they're okay.
Wow.
Then someone notices the occupants appear to be alive. That simple observation brings a short breath of relief, though the shock remains. A woman inside the car is injured, even if slightly, and the pilots manage to exit alive. For a few seconds on that highway, life and death were separated by only inches. Maybe it was timing, or maybe something prevented a greater tragedy. Do you think this was pure luck, or something else? On November 13th, 2018, deep within the Great Smoky Mountains of North Carolina, My Backyard Birding shared this unsettling video, originally recorded weeks earlier in late September 2018. The sound is unnatural, a mix between a roar and a scream. It moves through the trees and echoes back. Nearby branches snap slowly and heavily, as if something large is shifting just out of view. He stops walking and stands completely still. The noise comes again, closer this time. It feels deep and strong, not hurried and not afraid. The forest suddenly seems much smaller. Another call follows, louder and longer. The sound feels intentional, almost like a warning or a claim. He cannot see anything, but he knows he is not alone. For a moment, he does not know whether to run or remain quiet. Every step feels dangerous. Later, it is revealed that the sounds came from elk. Massive animals once absent from these mountains, now returned, rarely seen, often concealed, but unforgettable when heard this close. Sometimes what we cannot see feels scarier than what we can. Would you have stayed to find out or walked away? On May 25th, 2018, John, an outdoor enthusiast who thrives in wild places, recorded one of the most memorable moments from his channel, Lost Lakes. He often explored with his partner Aaron, but this time he was alone. The old footage is brief, quiet, and deeply tense. What happened that night serves as a serious reminder for anyone camping far from help.
Highway 101, west of Chapleau. So this is some very remote country despite being right off the highway, and it's the black bear capital of the world, so I'm thinking that's a possibility. To keep the paranoia away, as I call it.
That night, John is alone inside a small tent. It is around 3 a.m., and the forest is dark and silent. Then he hears footsteps outside. An animal is slowly circling the tent. The crunch of gravel is clear and steady.
Well, I am living every solo camper's nightmare right now. There appears to be an animal of some kind pacing around my tent. I woke up at 3 a.m. and just couldn't sleep. And then around 3:30, I started to hear this pacing sound, and 45 minutes later...
45 minutes pass, and the pacing does not stop. Nearly an hour goes by. The animal keeps moving around, never far. John stays still, trying to control his thoughts.
It's pacing around out there. So, I'm going to talk it out with the GoPro and maintain sanity, and maybe the talking will make it go away. I'm just off Highway 101, west of Chapleau. So this is some very remote, and it's the black bear capital of the world, so I'm thinking that's a possibility. To keep the paranoia away, as I call it.
He remembers that the area is known for black bears, which makes the thin tent walls feel even more fragile. He speaks aloud, hoping the sound will scare the animal away. It does not.
To keep the paranoia away, as I call it, we got 3 main tools. I think these are well worth having with you. Even in the backcountry, it's a little extra weight, but a little air horn. That's the first line of defense, along with the headlamp. The bright light can be a good tool in trying to blind an animal that has much better night vision than ours, but would be very sensitive to light. Second line of defense, if the thing starts poking its nose at the tent, then I have got this little hatchet here, which I could whack it with this like sheath on. And then last line of defense, you might think this would be the second one, is the bear spray. If I use the bear spray in the tent, I'm going to get blinded and incapacitated. Let's say a bear, if it is a bear, if it were to try and raid my tent, probably going to get the worst of it. The idea being that hopefully it also gets hit and runs away.
Stepping outside feels too risky. Suddenly, something touches the tent. Even though it is only a small movement, it is enough to send John into sheer panic.
And my car is literally right outside there, but I can't find my car key for the life of me. So while I'm tempted to hop out and get in the car, turn on my headlights, that's not an option right now because I'm an idiot and I can't find my key. It's all gravel here. This is a kind of a boat launch for this little lake here. So I can hear everything on the gravel. I can hear all the footsteps. Talking isn't making it go away. Maybe it's just curious and maybe it's biding its time for an attack. I don't know. If you're a solo camper, these are some good ways to keep your sanity. So a few bonus items. Something literally just touched my tent before I turned on the camera. Second, there's no cell signal here. And third, I have to pee. It's really just comical almost. And I found myself almost falling asleep here again. It's amazing how you can, I don't know, just your brain starts to forget about the threat after it's been over an hour now.
As daylight slowly arrives, the sounds fade and the animal leaves. A calm night can change fast in the wilderness. Maybe it was only curiosity, or maybe something else. Would you have stayed inside, or tried to make a run for the car? On November 17, 2024, deep in the Blue Mountains of Australia, the YouTube channel Scotty's Gone Walkabout shared this footage, showing how a calm campsite can become unsettling after dark. He spends the day hiking along a quiet mountain river, fly fishing, and searching for a place to set up camp.
Well, g'day guys, and welcome back to the beautiful Australian bush. So camping in the mountains this weekend on an overnight camp. We are in the middle of spring, the bugs are starting to come out, so it'd be nice to catch a trout off the surface and cook one up for dinner. I have to walk downstream because the only access point is so not ideal. It means it's going to be pretty easy to spook the fish.
As evening settles in, the forest grows silent.
Off-grid meals, but I think it's still going to be pretty tasty. So let's get that on the fire. All right, so for dinner we're going to have these off-grid provision meals, and I've got the Wagyu bolognese and the potato and salt bush. You're meant to sort of put this pouch in like a boiling water, like a jet boil, to heat it up, but I'm actually just going to empty the contents into these pans. I've done it before, and it's yeah, nice and easy way to do it. Oh, already that smells so good. That is delicious. Yum.
Later, he steps outside and notices small glowing eyes in the darkness. At first, they seem harmless. He soon realizes they may be dingo pups. They move quietly, watching him from the brush.
All right, so I just stopped from the tent, looked into the bush, and I could see these little eyes. And I thought it might have been some rabbits, because I thought I saw some rabbit burrows earlier on. But I just started to get a little bit closer, and they're like little puppies. I don't think they're foxes. I think they're like little dingo pups. I'll try and see if I can get close to them. There's about like 4 or 5 of them, and I couldn't see Mum, so I don't know where Mum is. I'll see if I can film them. So they're just up there. I don't know if you can see the eyes. I'll try and get closer. It doesn't look like a fox. It looks like a dog, like a dingo. But I can't see where Mum is. Very cute. But I should probably leave him in peace. I don't want Mum to come out and attack me. That was rad. That was really cool. I didn't get the entire litter. I could only sort of see that main one. I definitely saw about 4 or 5. I think they're hiding behind that tree there. Really cool.
He slowly retreats back to camp. Everything becomes still again. Too still. The fire crackles softly, but the bush feels alert, as if something is aware of him.
They're a dingo. They've got a little bit of sort of darkness to them, but I have seen dingoes that are sort of all different kind of colours, darker fur on them. So yeah, really cool. They had a little white tip on their tail when I was doing that hunting course back in October. Yeah, the second day we went out for another hunt, like a purebred dingo. I think it had like sort of like orangey fur, or that kind of like straw colour fur, 20 metres away from us, and it was really inquisitive. It just like kept sort of like walking through the grass and stopping and looking at us. And Eamon, the guy I was with, he was sort of doing like little fox calls and deer calls just to get its attention. Yeah, really cool. Like I honestly love dingoes, eh? Like they're just such a cool animal. We don't really have too many animals like that in Australia. That's pretty much our apex predator. And yeah, really cool. It's just a shame that we got so much 1080 poison. Like even where I parked my car today at the end of the national park, there was signs for 1080 poison. It is just such a horrible death. So that's the main reason I don't bring Banjo out camping. So which is quite a shame, because I'd love to get my dog out here more often, and the last thing you want is for your dog to pick one of those up. So anyway, it's pretty cool. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the morning.
Then a sound breaks the quiet. It is long, low, and chilling. Not a bark, not quite a howl. It rises from the darkness and sends a jolt through him. The hair on his neck stands up.
Oh, you guys hear that? What is that? That just gave me the biggest chills.
The sound comes again, closer. He cannot identify it and has never heard a dog make a noise like that. The forest now feels tighter, pressing in around the tent.
Oh man, my hairs on the back of my head just like stood up. It's coming from over there. I don't know what that sound is. I've never heard a dog make a sound like that. I think it stops. If you guys know what that is, please leave a comment. This is going to be an interesting night. I think I might be sleeping with my knife pretty close to me. See you guys in the morning. Oh, they're so creepy.
Eventually, the sound stops. He remains still, listening. The noise fades, but the tension does not. He keeps his knife nearby and waits for morning, knowing it will be a long night. Maybe it was just wildlife communicating, or maybe something felt different in that moment. What would you have thought if you heard that in the dark? Teahupo'o is a legendary surf spot located in Tahiti, French Polynesia. Known for its thick, heavy barrels and shallow reef, it has built a reputation for producing some of the most powerful waves on the planet. On May 29, 2022, the ocean shows exactly why it commands so much respect. The taxi boat, used to transport surfers and crews, is struck hard by a towering wave, briefly throwing everything into chaos. Despite the intensity of the crash, no one on board is seriously injured. Those knocked into the water are quickly recovered. Still, the moment highlights just how unpredictable and unforgiving Teahupo'o can be. If you were on that boat, would you have stayed calm or panicked when the wave hit? On November 9, 2020, Kai Lenny captured what he later described as the worst moment of his life at Nazare. From the viewpoint of the person caught inside it, everything unfolded in an instant, too quickly for the body to react. He attempted to dive as his flotation vest automatically inflated, but a powerful blow to his shoulder sent him completely out of control. For several long seconds, time seemed to stretch endlessly as he struggled within the force of the wave. At Nazare, survival is the ultimate boundary. When waves reach that size, even the most experienced athletes are pushed to their limits. If you were in that position, would you have trusted your training or felt pure fear take over? This video, published by The Independent on October 20th, 2022, captures a sudden bear encounter in the forest. There is no warning. The animal appears, and the safe distance disappears instantly. It's a short but tense moment that shows how fast things can change in the wild. What would you do if a bear suddenly stood that close to you? That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.